Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk on WCOBM. I'm Melissa Wiggins, your host, and I'm joined today by Frank Willis. He is a new member with the Real Talk Youth Impact Program. Welcome to our show today.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Talk a little bit about your experience with the program thus far. I know you've only been in there for 4 months, but what have some of your observations been?
Some of my observations have been that if you can keep them focused and pay attention to what you're saying, then you'll probably reach a few of them, even though they'll put on a front that they're not being reached. So
now, how did you hear about the program?
Well, Anthony's one of the members, is a friend of mine, and he introduced me to Cherie, and I was very interested in the program, so I volunteered to do my part to give back.
Why are you committed to doing this for the children?
Well, I committed a crime when I was a juvenile, 17. Spent a very long time in prison. So I just hope to help, the youth navigate the same pitfalls that led me to prison, that can lead them to prison, or even worse. So just helping them navigate through that and making the right decisions is something that I'm passionate about.
You had your first experience talking to the kids with a Change One. What was your message for them?
My message was in just the split decisions, the decisions that take just a split second to make can change the rest of your life. I'm not talking about ordinary day decisions on what outfit you're going to wear or something like that. I'm talking about just those right and wrong decisions, those split decisions where you choose whether it's right or wrong can really affect the rest of your life.
What do you think are some of the major things affecting kids today as far as their decisioning or the peer pressure that they're under? What are some of those things that kind of lead them astray commonly?
Well, that's something that's probably never changed since I was a child and, my parents were children. It's your outside influences, the people around you, the people that you listen to are more than likely your friends. So today it's more focused on social media, but that's just another form of the people that's surrounding you and the people that you're listening to and you're talking to.
Why is this a program a good idea for them?
Because it gives them a chance to interact with someone who probably can relate to the things that they're going through or are facing, whether it's some court problems or something like that, and we've been there to the extreme, just to the simple things to the extreme. We've been to those things, and we just want to help them make better choices, knowing what because a lot of kids don't think of the consequences, they just think of the here and now.
When you were addressing the parents in the group, what was your conversation like with the parents? What kind of questions were they asking?
Well, understandably, a lot of parents think that they're doing a good job. It's just that things are out of control, whether it's their interaction with their kids. They can't understand them. They don't know the reason why they're doing the things they're doing. So a lot of their questions are why, why.
And what is your answer to that when they're asking you why? How do you help them get an idea of what's going on with their child or what they should be looking for?
It's a cliche, but you got to look at the signs. But there's always signs, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something that the parents are doing. It can be who they're hanging around with, the way they're speaking, the things that they're watching or participating in. Those things are signs that can give you a kind of indication of their state of mind. So you just got to pay attention to those kind of things.
And why are the activities so important to the kids?
Oh, because idleness breeds trouble. So even when I was young, I was a straight A student, and ahead of my class. But it was the time after school, those activities that can really get you in trouble. And like I said, it's just who you're hanging around with, who you're participating with, what activities those individuals are getting involved in. So it's a lot of things that go into that, and you just got to be. It's very being a parent is a full-time job, and I'm not a parent, but I know how I used to treat my parents. So yeah.
What do you think would have caused you at 17 to make a different decision from the ones that you were making when you were 17? What could have preempted some of that for you?
Well, for me, I mean, like everybody's circumstances are different. I mean, everybody is just unique in their own way. But for me, it was I thought I was very smart. I thought I was smarter than everybody else. Which, I mean, any smart person would know that's not the case. But I just thought that, I thought I could get away with everything. And so that's the mentality that I had as, at 17, and like I said, not looking at the consequences, just, those split-second decisions,
Talk about some of the questions that you've seen asked from some of the kids. They have this Q&A where they can ask questions and be anonymous. Give me an example of some of those questions that maybe surprised you or you hadn't thought of, and what were some of those situations?
Yeah. Well, I haven't had the opportunity to answer the questions myself personally, but I have looked through some of the cue cards that the youth are asking. Why did we do what we did? How long is this program? There's some more simple ones, and some that's more confidential. But they have some very interesting questions, and it's something that they can relate to. So it's a very good platform.
How would you like to see the program evolve? I know you mentioned that you'd like to see more funding for the program.
Definitely.
Talk about some of that, because there's a lot of collaborators, there's a lot of activities. What else would you like to see added to the program?
Well, like I said, the program structure is very. Cherie's done an outstanding job.
She has.
I mean, she's done it all herself, and she's still continuing to juggle and trying to make things successful. But yeah, just definitely more funding, more support in getting the message out. Like I said, I've had a conversation with Cherie about this, and if those supporting what the mission is, then you must be willing to put everything into the mission.
You've had some dealings with Los Vaqueros. You know who they are. They donate generously to the program, and I understand that maybe you took place in a fundraiser with Los Vaqueros.
Yes, I did. It was I was invited, and it was a great event. I believe it was maybe the third or fourth one or something.
Okay.
But I believe, it was a great. I mean, it was a unique experience for me because I have absolutely no talent in that area, but there was very generous people there, and the event turned out very nice. I wasn't surprised, but I was very happy with the outcome.
Okay, great. Well, hopefully you'll be able to come back on the show, because we certainly want to hear about your progress with the program 4 months in. We want to hear about your viewpoint 1 year in, so definitely come back and talk to us again, and I thank you for coming on today.
Well, I think in a year it'll be much bigger than it is now.
Definitely.
Thanks
Thanks
for having me.
again.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.